All right, guys, this is my recap of the isolation video. We did a lot of different dances, right? We talked about a lot of different parts of the body that the dancers require. We started with Afro-Cuban. We talked a little bit about upper body and shoulders, right? This idea of our shoulders go up and then they drop, right? It's a very heavy movement. It's a strong movement, it's a sharp movement. So if we're going here, up and down, you should feel almost a little bit of a workout on um, what is that? A little bit on your traps and your lats, if I'm being honest. Right, keeping my fingers to my side so I don't lift. I'm not lifting from my elbows. Going shoulders, and then my fingers are kind of sliding as my shoulders go up. So this can go back, and this can go forward. Right? Again, the more you practice this, the sharper you can get and the stronger. The second movement of the upper body in Afro-Cuban is the chest. I'm going to come a little closer so you can see this. I'm going to face you guys so you can kind of see if I have my hand here right under my chest. I'm going to push back so it's a little bit concave. Push forward as my chest goes there. From a profile view, it looks like this and like this and like this. And I pull it out and I push it down. Pull it out and push it down, right? And this movement becomes this. If you saw me doing this, the dance, it looks like I'm using my shoulders, but my shoulders are just going back as a consequence of my chest. If you want to practice this and you like this movement, put your hands on your shoulders and try to just go from your chest. You'll notice this naturally moves back. Our whole body is connected, right? So anytime something moves, the other parts will move as a as a consequence of that, right? So again, try not to use shoulders because we're not doing this. It's just our chest. Okay. Then we talked a little bit about the feet in Afro-Cuban, and the idea was here the slight bounce, right? We got this Demi Plie. Most African dances use this because they're using the earth to kind of give them a spring movement. It can get tiring after a while, but this is important if you like African dances, especially traditional African dances. This is an important movement. Um, like I said before, if we're doing the side step, all we're doing is bringing our arms out. I'm not going to talk too much about this because this is not a Zumba class, but just our arms out like we're bringing them out, right? And you'll notice I'm using the ground to push me back. I'm not stepping. There's none of this, right? This is salsa. The final thing we did was the march. So we're using the spring in our step, but we're doing our shoulders back. And we can do the same thing here, trying to keep that spring in our step. It can be a little difficult, but it's important. And it's a really good exercise. Just put it on a song. I'll put the song names on a playlist so you guys can see it and you can hear the song, especially that first one. It's called Necio. It really has a boom, 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 boom. And so this is how Afro-Cuban, Afro-folkloric should look. I'm going to bring this down a little bit so it's not too high up. All right, then we talked about salsa. And when talking about salsa and bachata as well, we talk about the figure eight in our hips, right? Again, it's like a small around the world when we get into the glider. So it goes left, back, and right, and back. Notice they're very small ones, so it's almost like an infinity versus an eighth, because eighth is kind of big portions, but this is more of an infinity sign, a very skinny infinity, because we were trying to get control, right? So a good way to practice each side, like we said before, is to do the forward, left, back, right, and smooth it out. Keep your knees bent. The other way, forward, right, back, left, forward, right, smooth it out. Okay? If we're doing salsa, we're stepping forward as the lead or as the follow, it doesn't matter if you go back. We're doing the left, right, left, and then now we're doing the other side of the eight. Right? It's very small. It's not, you shouldn't exaggerate here. Keep it very small. Right? Very easy. A good way to practice this if you're not seeing enough movement that you'd like is to do the flat, the straight bend exercise. So you see my right foot is straight, my left is bent. If I switch, my hip goes out naturally. So I'm going to push this as far as I can to get more movement and more strength in that hip muscle, right? A good way to do that. So as I do this, I can exaggerate. Good way to practice. Obviously, this is too much, but after a while, you'll get the muscle memory and you can do a little more natural. One more thing we did for salsa was shimmies, right? So shimmies, this is actually when your shoulder goes forward, like I'm trying to hit something. I talked about the wall, right? Hitting your right shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder, left shoulder. Boom, 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 boom. You can do that if you have a wall and you don't worry about your shoulders. But if you are worried, you can sit, keep your back straight, just a chair of back support, and hit forward, left, right. So it goes right, or left, right for you guys. Then eventually going, styling. Followers out when we do shimmy. Boom, 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 boom. Leads in, so it's a little more chest. Okay? So yeah, like I said, we can add this to salsa basic. Focusing on our hip, right? And then we can do a shimmy. It works very well with the dance, and it does also in Zumba. We can do this in Zumba too. Ba, 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 ba. Boom, ba, 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 boom. I didn't talk about that, but you can. They're also very related. Okay. Let me not get too off topic. Next dance is bachata and son. So we talked about using the rib. It's a lateral movement. If I have my my arms down on something, I'm just moving my ribs. I don't have the ability to move my hands. I don't want to do this, right? I don't move back or forward. I want to keep it there and just side to side ribs. Okay? So this is important. When we're doing bachata, we actually want to go left, right, left, tap. See, my ribs went side to side. This is important. It'll help your body stay stable, and it also looks very composed. It's strong versus you see people doing like this. There's a different style actually, but in general, you want to keep your body composed. It gives you more stability when you're dancing. Um, like I said, we can do the figure eight as we're doing the bachata step. As you notice, my hips are doing the figure eight that we talked about. Now, if you have trouble trying to do this at the same time as your ribs, it's okay. Take some practice. But good practice for your hips, like I said before, is doing a big, small, small tap. It gives you already that natural hip movement. So bigger first step, smaller, smaller tap, right? Big, small, small tap. Big, small. It's a quick cheat. We also talked about the body roll in bachata. It uses it a lot. And we talked the idea of our chest going up to the ceilings, then our abs, and then we're going to sit. Chest and sit. Always, you want to always add that sit. It finishes your movement and it makes it look smooth and complete. So always chest and sit. Sit is very important. So we talked about how to use this in a bachata combo, and this was the stutter forward and back. So if I'm going forward and back for left, 1, 2, 3, tap, 5, 6, 7, stutter body roll, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, right? So from this direction, 1, 2 body roll, 3, 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8, 1, then forward, right? Again, extra, not as important, but you can add it. Then we went into Zouk. So we have 4 hip movements taught by Mimi, identified as Mimi. So I'm just kind of covering all that we did. First one is, well, the first one I'm teaching is around the world, right? We already talked about this already in the figure eights or in the infinity hip rolls. But in Zouk, like I said before, it's a little bit less controlled. The movement comes from our hips and our upper body reacts to it. So you actually want to relax your ribs versus before we were kind of just letting them go. Just relax your ribs and let them go. You can bend your knees if that helps, right? You can go either way. You notice your upper body's reacting to your hip movement. Slight shift from left to right. It should feel a little bit more like a hula hoop, right? So just relax. Around the world. Second one is pelvic. So this one is just side, 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 and you should feel like you're pushing side and you should feel a little bit of a tension there, right? And we can do this level, especially this one. Left, right, left. So this becomes more of a, almost like a scoop, right? Practice, and you can also do it up. And I like doing this kind of like around, elevator around the world with the hips and the upper body kind of staying there. It's kind of fun. So that's pelvic. Third one was the hip lift. Like you have something here and you're lifting up and then you're dropping it down. Lifting up and dropping down. Lifting up and dropping down. Lifting up and dropping down. And so on, right? Well, the good thing about this is you can use it to walk back and forward, right? So I'm lifting, bring it down. Lifting, bring it down. You can go forward too. Lifting, bring it down. Lifting, bring it down. Lifting, bring it down. We call this patinhas or little ducks in Zouk. Very important movement. The final hip isolation. Oh, is the pelvic thrust, right? Or pelvic thrust. Your pelvic going up, your pelvic going down. Pelvic going up, going down. I'm going to come a little close here. You can grab it like you're rotating up, rotating down, rotating up, rotating down. This allows, like you can twerk there, but what the more important thing about this is it allows for stability when you're doing a Zouk body wave, like a forward body wave versus a bachata. It's a little bit more body shift. So I can go here and there. See, I can quickly shift my weight because I'm using that abdominal muscles to switch it there. It gives stability and it looks nice, right? It's kind of a funny exercise to do, but it helps in a lot of ways. So I think that was pretty much it. Then we did like a combination of all the movements of some random Cuban hip hop. But I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you. There's a lot of information. So watch this as many times as you need to. I hate my voice, but hopefully you don't. Peace.